Hi, what's up everybody? It's Matt, and hey, I wanted to show another video here on just kind of helping you on how to read the greens. So here I've got about a 9 foot putt uphill for birdie at TGC Players Club, Shawnee Creek, beautiful course. And so the first thing I learned is definitely get the cursor past the hole to help you do one of the reads. The main thing that if you try to figure out which way this green's going to break, there's two camera views for the putting camera views that you'll click. You'll hit your putting camera view right here. Just press that button once, and there's your first look. And then, what it doesn't say over here, it doesn't say to click left click to get to more options. So you hit the left analog stick, you just click it, then you get another view, another view, another one, and another one. So the way you set that up is you go into settings and you go to display, and here it'll say putting camera preset. So set default camera angle used when switching the putting camera. So by default it usually does 1, which I believe is the one that's at the very lowest. I use 4 because I like the other ones after 4 to kind of get an idea. This is my routine. If you want to see my entire routine, it's let's look at the putt. Okay, we're going to do the first one. I'm going to move down with the right analog, hit the left click, move down with the right analog, then another one, move down with the right analog just to see a little bit closer, and lastly, we're going to look behind the hole. So oftentimes, for example, for this one, this is why I've been using the first two lately. This one, which is to the side, and this one to the side, and then this one to the side. Why am I using that? Because this one looks like a right to left putt, doesn't it? And so you kind of see just the way it looks in general. I mean, my assumption is it looks right to left, but then you click here, and you see, to me now, I'm sorry, the hole keeps disappearing. To me now, it looks like a left to right putt. So that's a little confusing. So what I would recommend instead, if you're trying to figure out what's right to left, what's left to right, use these two camera presets. The first one is your side view, face on, and you kind of look at it here, okay? I go all the way to the bottom because you want to see to the point that this depth of field right here is closer, right? And see how it goes down. So like if you were to putt this from here to here, it's a downhill putt, right? So that usually tells you one side's higher than the other. That's a right. That's a right to left putt. You want to see it just one more time to clarify. You push this one all the way down. So now it looks like you can see the hole's visual. You can still see it. And this is a little bit closer, but not so much as the one before. And you can see it just a little bit more. It's a little level, but you can also see there where we were just before, it's a right to left putt still. So that's what I'm going to go with. It may be a little straight just slightly, but not too much. And so we're going to assume this is just slightly right to left. Right here with some decent speed here. And there you go. A little turn at the end. And that was easy as can be. Not really, but it's the nice thing about that. And so we're going to jump. So we're on the next hole, and I actually made myself have a longer putt. So about 60 footer here. All the way, which I think actually is a 56. And I do get some indicators here, and I know some of the guys don't get those anymore, so even more so it's important to use those two angles I was talking about, but then you also use the other camera angles as well. So we're going to use the first one. So this is the side face on, and here you can already see a bit of a ridge. You can see it's also in relation to how the hole, so if you were to just kind of do a straight line right here, he'd be kind of over that flag, like right about there, right? If you do a quick little swish right there, so you can tell the golfer is higher than the flag. So right away you should know that, okay, that's going to be a downhill putt. Okay, then we're going to click the next option, and we're going to scroll down, and we can't really see it because it's a far putt, but we can just verify that. And so you can see this here on the top side for one. This side is higher, so if you had a putt right here, if you ever seen professional golfers, they will walk over to the middle, to where the apex is, right? And they go over here. Tiger does this a lot, and he would just go right here and see what this putt would look like. So anytime you have a really long putt, you kind of see what's the in-between look like. And so I always kind of do that and see this. Okay, this is a high ridge. It's definitely looking right to left, but it's downhill. So let's check a couple more angles. Okay, and so this is the one right behind the golfer down at the ball. So there you can see there's a little ridge. You can even go up and you can kind of see the same thing. And as you kind of go down, see right here, if like you were to just look at this just how it is, usually what default with a green grid, it'll tell you everything, but you won't be able to tell this with no grid. This doesn't, this looks like a straight putt in a sense, slightly right to left, but it's all downhill. And using this camera view, you can see that. You can know this because the hole is slightly covered. It's not level, and so when it's covered, there's a little hill right there. You can feel that right there as well. And we'll use the last camera angle, and this is the one, the definitive one to tell you. So on these long putts, this is definitely what you want to use. So see how much higher he is? Literally so much higher, and so there's a significant drop. Okay, and so let's figure out if this is right to left or left to right. So the first thing we're going to do, use our face on, we're going to scroll down, or not scroll down, but pan down. Okay, so we know right away that you kind of see like where the apex is. The apex is probably right over here, right? And so you want to see at what point in time does something disappear. Okay, so the golfer doesn't quite disappear, so we know it's not downhill until it gets past him, but this part disappears right here. So this is probably where it's going to pick up the most speed, right? And so you want to look on the other side to see which way is it going to turn. So we're going to do this side, and this is where it really tells you what's going on, right? And you don't want to go all the way down since the hill gets in the way there a bit, but you can tell definitely nearby the hole what's it going to do. It looks like to me I'm going to have to aim this far right, let it trickle down, and get over there. So, and then lastly, that's a right. So I know it's a right to left putt. Downhill, so it's going to be pretty significantly fast, and these greens are pretty fast. So, and then here, this is kind of the definitive to tell me, okay, it's right to left, it's downhill, but how much is it going to turn? How much do I have to push it out there, And the way you tell that is you see this early hill right here, and you see really how high that is relative to the golfer. If it was all the way up here by the trees, then it's going to be a significant turn. This may not even go that much, but it's enough that it's going to start caving in, and you can actually turn the right analog just to get a verification. You don't have to do this, right? And you can do the same thing. You can kind of look at it that way. So to me, I'll be honest, I'm unsure on what the speed's going to look like, but I'm going to move my cursor probably right to where that apex is, right? And then I'm going to just kind of look at it here. And to change your camera view, I don't know if anybody knows this, but actually I know a lot of people that know this, but you just hit your left click as well. This is not with the putting camera, this is for any kind of whichever down the line view your golfer has when he's about to swing, right? So when you're about to pull back like that. So I'm going to aim just about here, and hopefully it can trickle down. I don't think it's going to turn as much, but we'll see what happens here. So guys, it's all live, so I'm not the best of putters, but I know how to read the greens. This could even be turned more straight as it goes closer to the hole, but we'll just see what happens here. So it's trying to trickle down. As you can tell, it's definitely, it did not hit it very well at all, but I did get an idea of what it's going to be doing. So it started to go right to left as it got closer, and that's another way. So this is a good way just to learn that, hey, we're not all perfect, and I'm definitely not one of the top guys, but at least it's an understanding of what needs to be done. From there, it's execution. So here's another way to tell. It's right to left putt again. That's going uphill, and that's going. So we're looking again, side view. This is higher, it feels like. Click it again. This feels slightly lower, but as you can see, as it goes up just a bit, so it's going to straighten up, right? And then lastly, you're going to use this one. just to see face on. Still looks a little straight to me. This is the definitive one with these kind of longer putts, and it still looks straight to me. So I'm going to just give it just a little bit of a little spot here, just a little bit before the hole, and just hit it and just kind of keep it just inside the hole. And slight push, and it worked out. So it was a little more right to left than I thought, but either way, there you go. You know, hit a bogey. The first putt was not good, of course, but at the same time, you know, I learned a lot, and that's talking it out. Seems like it takes a lot longer. That seemed like a really long time to read it, but it actually really wasn't when you do it live and you do it, you know, as yourself real quickly. The next one, the next hole I'm going to show you is just me doing it real quick, of what average time. Okay, I got an opportunity for birdie. So this is looking right away. I'm going to look first as I see. So right away I know there's one side that's lower on the right side, so it's a left to right putt, it feels like. And this also seems downhill. And that looks just a little bit higher as well, so it could be a straight putt. Whenever you got left side higher, right side higher, you're in a little, what's called a bowl, and so it could end up being more of a straight putt. Now here's really where, you know, if I'm unsure, this view definitely helps to solidify that. This is kind of more of a left to right putt. It looks like just downhill. So we're going to kind of move this guy right here, keep it close to the hole. And it's downhill, so we're going to take a little off of it. And we should be good. So there you go. Not too bad. That was steaming though, and that missed the hole. It would have been somewhat gone. So that's an average of how fast I'll read them. You know, whether I'm right or not, it's up. You know, it's up to me and how long I want to take to read them. But I hope this helped you guys. I mean, like I said, I'm not the best golfer. You saw in the first, you know, the second attempt there, that I really just, you know, didn't hit the ball, didn't execute, but I read it right. And that's really the most important thing when you're learning no aids golf, in particular no green grid. Don't use it as, you know, just something that's going to make you not competitive. Being competitive is all about, you know, your practice and finding a routine and everything else. And tee to green, I think most no aids players can play just fine, you know, just like the other, you know, aids players. But it's the green grid that really gives people trouble. But as you can tell, you know, there's other ways to read this. And I think I came out with a video before that really only used a couple of the angles, and I started using this a lot more, and I've been a little consistent. Not terrible, but not terribly, you know, fantastic, but still getting there. But I'm enjoying the heck out of everything. So I hope you guys get to enjoy that aspect as well. If you have any questions, you know, go to realisticgolftour.com, go to our forums, and check it all out. If you want to play the golf club video game and you haven't gotten it already, go get that game. It's an amazing game. You can get it for PC, Xbox One, and PS4. And then join our league, or join our tour. We're always trying to improve things. We're working on a lot of different, you know, logistics, etc. But it's a blast to play. And I really think, you know, if you really want to enjoy the game of golf, not the video game of golf, you'll really get to love it a lot more playing no aids golf and playing without the green grid. So it's definitely doable. Alright guys, well as always, take care and stay tuned.